growing up is realizing that Donald Trump, you might not agree with the man socially or morally, however, that motherfucker got it on lock when it comes to the economy.
So I'm an economist, and I'm gonna need y'all to get it together when you're talking about Donald Trump and his economic positions. Because here's the thing, there is a very big difference between the vibes of how the economy felt during a presidency and the economic policies that they passed and their effects on the economy today. Because newsflash, economic policies take a couple of years to finally see the impacts of. And so to say Donald Trump had a great economy because the economy felt better in 2016 to 2020, which remember during 2020, the economy crashed and people lost their jobs and the economy was in the hole. That happened during his presidency. And I'm not being partisan here because I've criticized the Biden administration and some of their economic policies in other videos. But when we're talking about actual economic policy that the Trump administration passed, and we're not just talking about the vibes of the economy, the major thing we can point to is the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act of 2017, also known as the Trump tax cuts, which completely changed the tax code in a variety of ways. I can make a whole video that would be 10 minutes long about these tax cuts, but one of the things that it did was it slashed the corporate tax rate from 35% to 21%. And while economic evaluation of this policy by the CBO found that the cuts would boost the economy, these effects would be short-lived. And these tax cuts, because you're not collecting revenue from these corporations, would add nearly $2 trillion to the deficit by 2028. So all of my deficit hawks should be saying something here. What's more is that while this bill also had tax cuts for individuals, those tax cuts are expiring in 2025. When you file your personal income taxes that year, your tax rates will go up. I wonder if that was a political thing. But the corporate tax rate lowering from 35 to 21%, yeah, that was permanent. Now, Trump has also said as part of his economic policy, he will extend these tax cuts, which the CBO has found will cost the U.S. economy almost $3.2 trillion over the next 10 years. And if we are ballooning the federal deficit by that much, that money's got to come from somewhere. So either we're going to increase our national debt or we're going to have to pull from major civil services across the government. And these tax cuts would primarily affect people making over $200,000 a year. Meaning if you make under $200,000 a year, you wouldn't see as much of a tax cut as these people who make more. Now, I'm just talking about taxes here and government debt. There's a wide variety of metrics I can measure how well the economy does or does not. And I plan on unpacking these economic indicators between Trump and Biden from now until the election. But if you have any additional questions, feel free to let me know.